On this edition of CAPS 13 News, students consider their future by checking out a Majors Fair on campus. And a safe trick-or-treat for local children is held by a PSU organization. Plus, we take a look at a popular new video game. All that and more today on CAPS 13. Thanks for joining us for this edition of CAPS 13 News. I'm Sydney Ward.
And I'm Chad Spear. This week on CAPS 13, we check in with fall football and give you local and collegiate standings.
But first, breaking news out of central Kansas today. A small plane crashed into a Flight Safety International building this morning in Wichita, injuring 5 and killing 4 as of Thursday afternoon. 5 are still unaccounted for. The pilot was the only person on board the Beechcraft King Air B-200 when the plane crashed just before 10 a.m. The plane had a full tank of fuel and had just taken off from Mid-Continental Airport when the pilot reported engine problems and attempted to double back to the runway. The crash started a 2-alarm fire at the Flight Safety International building, with approximately 60 firefighters from the Wichita Fire Department responding. Fire crews were pulled out of the building at 11:15 a.m. due to structural concerns caused by the ongoing blaze. One of the injured patients is in serious condition, with the other 4 in fair condition. Most of the flight safety staff were able to escape the building unharmed. A spokesperson for the Wichita Fire Department says the search operation for the 5 missing will continue through Thursday night.
Pittsburg State hosted a Majors Fair this week in the Crimson and Gold Ballroom. It allowed students who are undecided in their majors to come and learn more about each individual department and what it has to offer. Several students were required to attend the fair for freshman experience class, but many attended to learn more about offered majors. Each department had representatives to answer questions about their specific department and program.
A Holocaust survivor and lifelong social justice advocate, Hetty Epstein, will speak at Pittsburg State University today, October 30th, in room 103 Whitesett Hall at 7 p.m. The speech is part of the Pitt State Women's Studies lecture series. Epstein, who arrived in the U.S. in 1948 after surviving World War II, has also been involved in the United States Civil Rights Movement. The lecture is free and open to the public.
Halloween came a few days early this year for kids visiting PSU's Safe Trick-or-Treat Night. Hosted by the Student Activities Council, over 20 PSU organizations participated in this annual event. Each student organization provided an activity for kids, giving them a chance to win some sugary treats. As in recent years, this event had a massive turnout with kids from Pittsburg and neighboring communities bringing out their best costumes for the night's costume contest. Freshman Ryan Urban, who's part of the Student Activities Council, arrived in costume to show support for this evening's event.
My favorite part about tonight is probably kind of seeing all the kids dressed up and having a good time. I know a few of them I've kind of played with their minds, bowed to the princesses of Arendelle and all that. So that's been a lot of fun to kind of to play along with.
Popular culture has taken hold of the zombie apocalypse craze with shows like The Walking Dead. But would you be able to survive a real zombie apocalypse? A zombie lecture series on campus aims to help you do just that. Today, October 30th at 5:30 p.m., zombie lectures will be presented in room 224 of Kels Hall. 4 one-hour-long panels cover topics such as human-zombie relations, zombie culture, zombie logistics, and zombie philosophy. Pitt State faculty members across disciplines are presenting the lectures. At 9:30 p.m., following the lecture series, there will be a showing of the George Romero classic, Dawn of the Dead.
Coming up, we take a look at some health and safety tips for the upcoming Halloween holiday.
And we review a new video game hitting shelves. Stay with us.
our new tech segment, Caps 13's Bartholomew Click reviews the new game in the Civilization series Beyond Earth. Sid Meier's Civilization Beyond Earth is the latest offering from Firaxis Games and is the spiritual successor to the 1999 title Alpha Centauri. It's a turn-based strategy game set on an alien world where the player controls colonists who've escaped from the ruins of Earth to start a new life on a new planet. As far as art goes, Beyond Earth is a stunning success. The soundtrack is among the most compelling for any media in the last decade, let alone for a video game, and this was largely expected. Firaxis Games and the Civilization series in general have always been lauded for their strong soundtracks. The overworld art, too, is successful, and combined with the soundtrack, makes you feel the oppression of being surrounded by poisonous atmosphere, hostile alien wildlife, and trigger-happy neighbors. The storyline is where this starts to fall apart. It's a pick-a-path adventure where the player builds a portal to either bring everyone left behind on Earth to a newly terraformed promised land, or to go back as Borg-like robots to assimilate the last vestiges of humanity. There are a number of other options, all of which are interesting on their own, but none of which go deeply enough into their subject material to say anything. This isn't an unreasonable expectation either. Alpha Centauri was a strong strategy game known for the depth of its story and the quality of its writing. So people with nostalgia for that who come to Beyond Earth will be disappointed. The game is still addictive, though. It sucks away time like a black hole and was made with the same black magic as the other Civilization games. It offers a number of quality-of-life improvements to the franchise that make warfare and conquest more engaging, but while doing this, it never manages to feel like its own game. Rather, it plays like an expansion pack for Civilization 5. This would be acceptable, too, if the game didn't cost $60 in the US and $100 in Australia. This means it has a lot of Civ 5's rough patches, too. The AI is abysmally stupid, even on the highest difficulty settings, and the multiplayer is, as always, an unfulfilling race to the cheesiest tactics the map allows, with very little actual strategy coming into play. Overall, the game gets a solid C+. If you buy it now, buy it for the music and for the feel, because those are what's rocking right now. Otherwise, wait until Firaxis has released the gold edition of the game and a few expansion packs. For GTV, this is Bartholomew Click.
Halloween means many things across the world, but here in America, it means costumes, pumpkins, and candy, of course. Caps 13's Courtney Rush has some health and safety tips for this upcoming Halloween.
With Halloween tomorrow, many kids will be out trick-or-treating. Trick-or-treating started in the late 1940s and never has been as popular or dangerous as it is today. But what about the dangers or the tricks that people like to pull on kids through the candy that they give out? Well, that's what we are here to warn you about. With more and more viruses, bacteria, drugs, and other bad stuff lurking in today's world, one thing that should be a must for parents is just simply going with their kids as they collect candy, and then going through the candy before the kids eat it to make sure it hasn't been tampered with. Another way to be safe while trick-or-treating is to bring your kids to Safe Trick-or-Treat here on campus at PSU, where different clubs and organizations come together to give kids a fun, safe way to get candy before Halloween. Marissa Ibarra is a part of the SGA organization that participated in Safe Trick-or-Treat this Wednesday.
Safe Trick-or-Treat is an event for kids in the community and their families to come and visit the campus and get candy from a bunch of different organizations on campus. There's about 40 to 50 organizations this year. It's going to be in the Crimson Gold Ballroom. And there's also costume competitions for the kids and their families, and then for us who are working the event. And they give out prizes. The prizes are to be determined at this point.
Some other things that would benefit yourself and your kids this Halloween is going to houses of family and friends that you know. Also checking for local safe walks and or just going to private communities throughout the town. If your kids do go trick-or-treating alone, warn them to not eat the candy until you go through it. Also make them bring a flashlight since it'll be dark. Make sure they stay in a big group and tell them to not use back roads or alleys to get around town. Then once again, make sure your kids' candy is good to eat when they are back. For Caps 13, I'm Courtney Rush. Have a happy Halloween.
Coming up in sports, we look at football around the region.
And we highlight an international student who is new to the PSU basketball team. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a wish granted gives a child and their family a chance to feel normal, stress-free, and may improve their condition?
Did you know it costs an average of $7,500 to grant one child's wish?
Did you know that in 2012, Make-A-Wish granted the wishes of 14,000 children with life-threatening illnesses?
Did you know that every 28 minutes a child is referred to Make-A-Wish? Did you know your gorilla athletes want to make just one of those wishes come true?
I'm Dylan Dolly, Make-A-Wish Chair for the Pittsburg State Student Athletic Advisory Committee. This year, Gorilla student athletes have set a goal to raise $8,000 for Make-A-Wish to hold a wish granting ceremony for a local kid right here at Pittsburg State. Visit PittStateGorillas.com and click on the Make-A-Wish logo to donate. It is a secure donation site and every little bit will help us reach our goal. Thank you for sharing the power of a wish.
Good afternoon, folks. With your Caps 13 sports update, I'm DeMonte Taylor. If you're planning on going to the Joplin, Missouri for the Pitt State Missouri Southern game this weekend, you might be out of luck. The local tickets for the PSU MSSU game have been sold out. The Pittsburg State University ticket office said on Wednesday the new university was giving 100 general admission tickets that have all been sold out. Fans still wanting to purchase tickets in advance for Saturday's game are encouraged to contact the Missouri Southern State Ticket Office at 417-625-9366 or visit mssulions.com. The game will take place at Frank Hughes Stadium in Joplin. With the Gorillas coming off a 3-game win streak, they played host to Nebraska Kearney Lopers. Let's get started. The Gorillas got off to a slow start to the game, but the defense playing hard as usual, hitting hard and flying to the ball. On this play, a Pitt State defender even knocked his own helmet off. On this, the quarterback runs and scores for making it 7-0. The offense had a struggle, but the defense stayed solid, as you see with a big stop from Tate Irvin as the quarterback tries to run. The Gorilla gets on board early in the second with a field goal from Frizzell. On the next UNK possession, the Lopers catch the defense slipping and complete a bomb for 75 yards to go up 14-3 on the Gorillas, but still a lot of ball game left. The Gorillas make another field goal in the quarter, making the score 14-6. On the next play in Pitt State drive, Abinoha gets a big pass off the Cushion as Cushion runs down the sideline for a big gain. Tiptoeing in his Nikes. And then it's number 7, Hamilton, with a fake handoff and another big gain before Pitts runs it again and slams it in for the touchdown, making the score 13 and Lopers 14. But the Lopers strikes again on the Gorillas with another deep pass, another 74 yards this time, making their lead 8 points. But on the next play, it's Jamal Taylor with the gain for the Gorillas to put them in the field goal position, which would put the Gorillas closer to the Lopers score now being 21 Lopers, 16 Gorillas. But it was lights out for the Lopers from here on out as the Gorillas scored unanswered touchdowns, 2 being from running back Taylor and 1 from receiver Lutman, as the Gorillas roll on to the game. Final score 36-21. Gorilla Volleyball faced Southwest Baptist Bearcats Tuesday night at Bolivar, Missouri. The Gorillas defeated the Bearcats 3-2, but not with a battle. PSU had a rocky start, losing the first set 25-17. The Bearcats had 3 aces, a .406 attack percentage in the first set. During the second set, the Gorillas had 17 kills and a .316 attack percentage, which led to PSU winning the second set. The Bearcats won the third set with the third block that secured the third set victory, 25-18. PSU had 9 kills, while also having 9 attack errors in the fourth set. Each team had 13 kills, but Pitt only had 5 errors compared to the Bearcats with 9. During the set, there was 3 lead changes and 9 ties, but the Gorillas won the fourth set, 25-22. With spirits high, the Gorillas led the entire match during set 5. Pitt never led more than 3, but it was enough to get them the 15-12 win. Matty Mosier led the Gorillas with a season-high 22 kills, as well as 14 digs and 4 blocks. Pitt will return home for their last home match this season on Friday against the Northwest Missouri Bearcats at 7. The MIAA League's coaches have picked the women's basketball team to finish second in the preseason polls. The Gorillas fall behind the Emporia State Hornets. Both teams were given first-place votes, but ESU earned 160 total points, while the Gorillas earned 153 points. Washburn and Fort Hays State were selected as third and fourth place. The men's basketball team picked to finish 10th in the preseason polls. Central Missouri Mules were picked to win the league, with Fort Hays State falling behind as runner-ups. Central Missouri earned 151 points and Fort Hays 145 points. The Gorillas earned 73 points, falling 6 points short from the number 9 line, Lindenwood. Women's and men's basketball teams will begin league play Saturday, December 6th at John Lance Arena. With basketball just around the corner, I caught up with a PSU player with a unique background.
Being a college athlete can be a challenge and a whole new world in itself. Especially for a freshman, and especially for someone from another country.
Okay, my name is Adrian Fernandez. I'm from Spain, Madrid.
Adrian Fernandez is a 6'4" shooting guard here to play basketball for Pitt State. And being a young foreign kid in the country can be a new experience.
Well, I've never been for a long time. That's my long time period. And I've been before in Philadelphia for just 1 month. And now I'm already here for 8 months. And I'm really happy to be here.
But how does one go about leaving the country to play somewhere else? And what are some differences?
A friend of my father put me in contact with a guy who called Oscar Gonzalez, who played here before. Well, we're trying to send him some videos about me playing. And he put me in contact with Coach Map. And they like what they see. This is why I'm here. So all my family play basket, from my grandfather to my father, now all my brothers also. My older brother is playing in the first league of Spain. So I think the basketball is in our DNA. And all the sport here in the States is much different than in Europe and in other countries, because here is more huge, and that's one thing I like very much in the States. All the people that is around the team and all the travel and everything you have here, and then the way they practice is much harder than in Europe, and you feel that you get better in less time.
Adrian says that he has really enjoyed his time here. And when asked about Pitt State, here's what he had to say.
I think Pittsburgh is a beautiful place with wonderful people, and I feel very good here.
Adrian is also studying international business, and the sharpshooter is excited for the up-and-coming basketball season and is looking forward to playing his first true NCAA college athlete minutes. For Caps 13, I'm DeMonte Taylor.
On this week's four-state game of the week, the Frontenac Raiders and the Columbus Titans collide against each other in the matchup of the CNC powerhouses, with the Class 4A Division II District 4 title most likely on the line. Caps 13, Will York has more.
Welcome to this week's four-state game of the week, as the Columbus Titans play host to the Frontenac Raiders. Both teams are undefeated so far this season, and so much is at stake for both teams. Before we hit the highlights, let's look at some factors to consider for this game. First, this game is a part of the Class 4A Division II District 4 playoff race. Due to both teams' records, the winner of this game is most likely to win the district championship. The second factor to consider in this game is the CNC championship. Frontenac win the CNC crown with the win over Columbus and a win over Baxter Springs next week. Columbus can clinch back-to-back titles with a victory over the Raiders. The third factor to consider in this game is history. These teams are playing against each other for the first time since 1967. Off to the highlights. In the first quarter, Columbus will score first when junior running back Jake McDowell will get into the end zone for a 3-yard touchdown run. Point after is good. Columbus leads 7-0 after the first quarter. The only big thing that happened in the second quarter was this monster sack on senior quarterback Nate Boley by junior defensive end Nico Provitt, and we head into halftime with the Titans leading 7-0. Things are going to change in the second half, starting with this play. On 4th and goal, the Raiders are going to try a field goal. The snap is up. Wait! It's a fake! Sophomore wide receiver Ryan Long takes the ball, looking for another receiver to throw it to. Releasing it in the nick of time, Long finds senior tight end Bryce Bardo for the touchdown. Raiders want to go for 2. Sophomore quarterback Austin Seward takes the ball and barely gets into the end zone. 2-point conversion is good. Raiders lead 8-7. Still in the third quarter, Boley's looking for his man in the end zone, but it's picked off by senior cornerback Keaton Bollinger. Raiders take over on the 20. After the interception, Seward hands the ball off to sophomore tailback Caden Bollinger. Using his need for speed, Bollinger will run all the way into the end zone for an 80-yard touchdown. Point after is good. Frontenac leads 15-7 after the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, Columbus will get back into this game when McDowell runs by the Frontenac D for the 9-yard touchdown run. Columbus can tie this game with a 2-point conversion. Boley fumbles the snap, picks it up, and pitches it to McDowell, who then fumbles it himself. Raiders fall on it. The 2-point conversion was no good. Frontenac leads 15-13. Later in the fourth, Seward snaps the ball, looks for his receiver, and throws it to Long for a 9-yard touchdown pass. Point after is good, and that is where we'll end this one, as Frontenac wins 22-13 over the Titans, one win away from their first CNC championship in 20 years. After the game, we caught up with head coach Mark Smith and senior tight end Bryce Bardo to gather their thoughts on the big win. How special was this win tonight for this team?
It was huge. We came out, we were the underdog, worked hard all week, had 3 great practices, came out believing we were going to win, and we did.
I don't know how many years you've been here in Frontenac, but you just brought a big tradition back to this small town near Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's great. The kids, you got to give credit to the kids, especially the seniors. They put in the sacrifice in the summer and the time, and they're paying the dividends now, and hopefully we can get the job done and win the league next week.
Thanks for joining me in recapping this week's State Game of the Week.
A healthy salad. That's an easy salad that's easy and inexpensive to prepare. Stay with us.
Founded as a chapter in April of 1963, the Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity here at Pitt State revolves around setting the standard of integrity, intellect, and achievement for their members. Host institutions and the community in which they live in are also highly regarded here at Pitt State Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity. Here in Pittsburgh, they are active scholars, athletes, and gentlemen within the school. Join the Garnet and Gold by contacting Mark Flood at 785-554-0866.
Welcome back to Caps 13 News. It can be hard to stay healthy in college when you're always on the go and on a budget.
In this week's cooking segment, Caps 13's Evelyn Kingari shows us a healthy and inexpensive salad.
Hello, this is Evelyn. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making a cabbage and egg salad. There are only 6 ingredients, so it's quite simple. First we're going to cut the cabbage. The important thing is to just remember to slice really thin. I already added the spinach and the carrots into the bowl, so you just go ahead and add the cabbage. And now we're gonna cut the purple cabbage, and the only reason I picked the purple cabbage was for color. So just the same process, slice thinly. We're almost done. All we have to do now is cut up the mango into little cubes and put it into the salad. This will provide a little bit of sweetness because there wasn't too much in the cabbage and the spinach. Some in the carrot, but the mango will definitely add a little bit of juice. Now the final and last part, we're gonna take the eggs. I usually put them in a little bit of cold water just to take the heat off. I'm gonna pour the water. I have 4, might be too many, I don't know, it just depends kind of on your style or whatever you prefer. Now that you have all your eggs peeled, we're just gonna cut them into small cubes, kind of like the mango. Now that we have our eggs and the salad pretty much ready, we're gonna make the dressing. It's pretty simple. You just put apple cider, olive oil, and some honey. I don't usually measure, I kind of just do what feels and tastes right. Now, you just blend. I usually taste here and there to see if it's the desired taste. I have to taste the vinegardness. So now I've just added a little bit of honey. I think that will sweeten it up and make it okay. I've decided to put everything separately just because people have different desires as far as taste goes. So they can just kind of sort it out by themselves. Finally, we are going to serve. Voila! The cabbage salad is complete. This is good. In under 30 minutes, you have a delicious, nutritious, healthy meal. Thanks for watching. My name is Evelyn with Caps 13 News.
That does it for this week's edition of Caps 13 News. For more or for archived episodes, visit the Pittsburg State website and search broadcasting.
Also, visit us on Twitter at caps_13. We'll be tweeting live during broadcast all season. Have an idea for a story? Let us know. Hashtag Caps13 News. Stay tuned for more great programming on Caps 13.
Have a great day.